I know our people here are more maybe I'd say concerned. I don't want to say upset because I don't feel our people are upset. They're just to a point where they have a lot of questions, and they want to know. They want answers. The people want some. They want some representation here to tell their voice, take it to council. This is what our people want. And as far as the tribe side, I was explaining earlier there was some unobligated funds that was in a Starion bank account in Bismarck, and we went into executive session, and I know people were thinking, geez, why are they in executive and everything else, but what it was we each voiced how we felt and how the people felt, the people we represent, about this water issue. And we were all unanimously all agreed that this is most important. So we made a motion, we allocate over $500,000 to fight this the development of this pipeline that's going across the Missouri. And a lot of people don't know, but there's already a pipeline right there where they're trying to put that. There's already a natural gas pipeline right there. So basically the companies are piggybacking off that to get the easements to go straight through, because there's already a pipeline there. And majority of our people don't know that.
Why they have those markings along the highway, the fence line?
Yeah.
Green and yellow marks.
North of by Cannonball Ranch there. So there's a lot of developments, coming, and we have our Minikoju relatives here that they've told us if need be, we'll bring the manpower. We'll bring manpower if we need to stand there and protest in a good way. Also want to mention LaDonna Heller, Grable, she feels very compassionate about this personal interest. Her family, she has a son buried there, so she offered that area if they wanted to have a good, positive spiritual encampment, and she invited our relatives. You guys can sit there and you guys can pray. You can occupy that area in a peaceful protest. So there's a lot of different ways to go about it, but I wanted to share that much about what had happened with the ceremony and everything else. I know we got some food and other things. We're going to share a meal here and share ideas. I want to ask Everett to say a short prayer for us, so when the food gets here we can eat, then we can share our thoughts and come together and
Watchek yo wakafum kha wayaya patakya wahin tegla ya hoy walo nami chukhun yo makya naha itoka gatakya mushimala wayokh pata wakiya mushimala po waziyat fathan ko ya wakata atwa khan khakam ken kuyinu chi makha wahin tegla ya hoy wa khan khashila watchek yo kagapi kushem tkhupikte wahin pekila lila washake na woko pekul ya hoy wala wakin wa yate misukun kuna yo ha wahin paglo he ya po na kushya tkhupikte washicha stau chashe yupna tokchen shkop to khukashila laftate ya hoy wala na hechi tukushi taki yo kak khabiete to wash ti chelo chiplat khukashila inaji tena hechi ya hoy wala na machi woko li chichelo te chelo sawa na wakin wa yate na machi woko li chichelo oh
I guess if we get started, we want to introduce Joy and her daughter. If you girls wanted to share anything, your ideas, and Tell the community members what you shared with us in Fort Yates, in Long Soldier District. Okay.
Aui wea kawa I matia ki na only paha tipi. So I live in Eagle Butte. My culture name is Eagle Feather Woman. I'm actually Ohenupa and Hohoju. So I come from two different bands. And my daughter is a descendant of one of the survivors of Lumbini. We got involved with pipeline fighting when Deb Whiteplume put out the call for moccasins on the ground. We'd heard about Keystone trying to come through our reservation. That was their original plan, to come straight through our reservation. They originally wanted to go through Hump Camp and through Sitanka's camp right before he headed to Lumbini. Well, of course, we weren't going to let that happen. One of the things that we learned in fighting Keystone is that everything that has to be done in prayer. And you have to build alliances. It's not just based on us as the Chota. There has to be alliances, and we have to work together with our non-native people. So I work with Dakota Rural Action. I work with white ranchers. People who you would never think that would come to a Lakota sweat, they come. And yeah, they got some crazy ideas at first, but then when they come and they learn, and we go to their things too. So I've done a lot of alliance building, and that's one of the things that needs to happen up here. Learn who those landowners are that have those easements. Start talking to them about eminent domain, because that's something that they understand. Now, of course, for us, water is sacred. Water is the beginning of everything. Water is the first medicine. If we don't have water, we don't have life. Now, this pipeline is coming from the Bakken. I don't know if any of you guys have been up there. I was up there just a few months ago. There was an extreme energy extraction summit with about 50, 60 different nonprofit organizations from around the country that are fighting extreme energy extraction. Everything from mountaintop removal to pipelines, sand fracking, coal trains, oil trains. So I got to meet a lot of people. And when we were up there at the Bakken, just being outside, even in this downturn, our skins were filled with rashes. Now, I was up there a couple years before that when it was in full swing. And it looked like the Kuwait oil fields, remember? On TV? That's what it looked like. But this is the oil that they want to bring through. Now, when they do that drilling, it isn't just drilling. They send benzene and chlorine and toluene and all kinds of chemicals, up to 57 different toxic chemicals into these injection wells. Now, when they send that oil through here, they put it at high pressure. A lot of those chemicals are still in that oil. Imagine what happened when this huge pipe, not just a pipe, huge pipe spilled. Now, Keystone 1, which is on the eastern side of South Dakota, in the first 2 years of its operation, had 14 leaks. One of them went unnoticed for over 24 hours. So when they say, oh, we're going to know right away when these pipelines spill, that's bull. It's a lie. They don't want you guys to know. And if it's only a couple barrels, they're not going to tell you. And if it's at a pump station, they're not going to tell you. breaks at a pump station, all that oil still goes into the water.
Why are they even fracking?
Why are they fracking?
Yeah.
Because they think oil is gold.
Is what?
They think oil is gold. They still believe that they can. The smaller companies up there at the Bakken are going under. Like the individual landowners that started up an oil company, those are going under. What you have up there are these huge companies like Enbridge that are up there. Enbridge is huge up there. You have Chevron, you have Exxon. You have these huge oil companies up there. So they want to keep producing oil. One of the things that, and I need to really sit down. I know that, our elders told us to stand and we talked last meeting, but I have really bad knees. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down. There was a trade agreement called NAFTA. Okay? And in that trade agreement, we had an agreement to stop sending oil outside of the country, and we were going to keep it here in the United States. Okay? This happened under Clinton. Well, that expired. Now we can send oil anywhere. Okay? What they're not telling you is that there's huge tankers of oil sitting in the middle of the ocean, huge, like 50, 60, even 100 tankers filled with oil out there that aren't moving oil. It's all false. They want to try to bring oil up, the price of oil. Now, Obama's saying he wants to bring it down to $10 a barrel. So there's this big fight going on.
Which is why gasoline is so cheap right now.
Gas is so cheap right now. But if you notice, your food is higher. Your food prices are higher. This is what they call a false economy. I don't know why they do it. They do it to try to make money off of them. Our best bet in the most, if we were to do everything that we needed to do, which is, community gardens and growing our own food and going back to Buffalo and growing our own fish and all that, that would be so much better for us. We're not there yet. We're getting there. Eventually, that's what we're going to have to do. But for right now, we need to fight Dakota Access. We won Keystone. We put it at we semi-won Keystone. South Dakota has a blank invitation for Keystone to come in. And so the individual interveners, Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, the Yankton Sioux Tribe, Rosebud pending tribal approval, Dakota Rural Action have all filed for an appeal to the South Dakota PUC in court on Friday. So we're taking that to court. So kind of what happens when you fight a pipeline is there's this grassroots stuff that happens, which is like a spirit camp. Okay? So it's not a protest camp. This is really important to understand. No guns, no slingshots, no BB guns, nothing like that. You cannot have that. Period. So anybody who thinks that they're going to come armed, send them away. This is a spiritual camp. Everything must be done with prayer. Everything must be done in a good way. If it's not, you're not going to win. Period. It just won't happen. The spirits won't let it happen. They'll stop you. So there's this stuff that happens on the grassroots level, like a spirit camp, prayer vigils. You may even want to stand in front of the line and lock arms and say prayers. There's all different kinds of things that can happen. There's banner drops. There's all kinds of things that can happen that are non-violent direct action. And we can help bring
like
that
lock
type of
arms
training.
When the one and make a circle.
Huh?
You mean like lock arms in a circle?
Yeah, and pray.
And just stand there.
Stand there for like 15, 20 minutes and then leave. you don't have to do some of the things, but like kind of we did other things like actually go in front of on Main Street and 212. There's in Eagle Butte. There's a stoplight. We went into the middle of the road there and we did a round dance, and then we left. That was a little bit more dangerous. But there's other things that can happen, and those are things that the community has to decide. And we can give ideas for that, and we can give training on that. Indigenous Environmental Network, Ruckus, have already, they've already agreed to help us do that, help you guys do that, and that's one of the messages that I was to bring. And the other thing that needs to happen is you guys as individuals and you that are listening need to support your tribal council in any kind of resolutions that they come up with. So maybe they come up with a resolution banning the owners of Dakota Access from coming onto the reservation or moving their goods on the reservation. Maybe that's something that they need to consider. That's something Cheyenne River did with Keystone and TransCanada, and all their subsidiary companies are banned from Cheyenne River. Maybe that's something Standing Rock needs to do. I don't know. That needs to come from you guys. I can't tell you what to do. I can give you ideas, but you need to work with your tribal council so that they can pass those types of laws, and support them when they do that.
I thought the pipeline's not coming on reservation, it's bypassing on our side.
They still
The
may
river.
bring goods and supplies through. So if you ban them from coming on the reservation, then they have to go all the way around. You see what I mean? That makes them have to spend more money. They don't like spending money.
You mean materials? Where are they taking them? Are they taking them somewhere else through the reservation or
They
what?
very well might be doing that.
Well, not only that, we'll have to watch all this rock over here, the highways too.
Well, you guys have banned mega loads just like we did. Mega loads are banned on Pine Ridge, on Rosebud, Cheyenne River, and up here on Standing Rock. Look what that did. That was a huge coup on the part of the Lakota people.
We have to stand on treaties too,
We have to stand on treaties. We're a sovereign nation. We have to stand on that. So our laws stand.
We need to have some attorneys that know about treaties. Some of our attorneys up here in the office, I don't think they know anything about treaties. So what we need to do is get AIM lawyers that know the treaties.
Well, there's a lot of different lawyers that know about treaties, and that's something that you need to definitely look into. I know that with Keystone, there was the lawyers that worked with the PUC were amazing, and what happened there was amazing. I learned so much from that. Unfortunately, we can't go fight the PUC in North Dakota. They are fighting in South Dakota. I can tell you guys that. There was a rumor saying that they weren't, but they are. Standing Rock is fighting Dakota Access in South Dakota. I can guarantee you guys that. And they're doing a really good job with that. I think they've filed an appeal, or going to file an appeal into the court or federal court. But that's something that their lawyers need to decide. So whatever they decide to do, you guys need to support them with that. The other thing, so there's the grassroots. They're supporting our sovereignty, with supporting tribal council. Go to treaty councils. Go to treaty councils and get resolutions and things out of treaty council. We did that down there too. Those things work together, and really help one another. I'm definitely open for questions. I don't know what more I can tell you guys other than we're here. I promised that I would come up here, and I will continue to do that as much as I possibly can to support you all. I can bring our youth up who have been trained in non-violent direct action.
really important to remember that. Really important.
Would a council approve of that? See, we have to abide by the council, what they say. Right, Charlie? We just can't go ahead and do things.
As a people, I would say if you had it in your heart to do it, I don't think you would need to.
As long as she had the permission of the landowner.
As long as you have the permission, if you're going to do a spirit camp, as long as you have written permission from the landowner, and it needs to be written, then you can go do that spirit camp. Spirit camp, the one in Rosebud and the one in Cheyenne River and the one at Lower Grove, each one was different in how they were set up. Now, I was really involved with Pate Oshpaya, which was on Cheyenne River. And I can tell you how we did things. I wasn't that involved with the one down in Rosebud, but I can send you to people who were, and they can tell you how they did things. Same thing with Lower Grove. But I can tell you what we did with Pate Oshpaya. With Pate Oshpaya, before we opened it, we had permission. It was owned by the community of Bridger. So the community of Bridger gave us permission to be on that land. It was 60 acres. So we had the largest camp. We had teepees. One of them was my own personal teepee, and then we had teepees from the tribe that they let us use. We had 4 headsmen, and then we had head women. So it was really set up old way, the way that we did things.
What do you mean by that?
Huh?
What do you mean by that?
Everything was done by consensus, but there wasn't a whole lot of campers. The headsmen made the final decisions when it came to financial things. There was a bank account. The headsmen had to meet for major decisions that were made. So sometimes different issues would come up and the headsmen would deal with it. And then we abided by that. The women also had a say in that. So the headsmen would talk, then they would go back and talk to the women. The women would then give their suggestions, and then it was decided what was going to happen. Now in the camp itself, if something came up within the camp, like a daily, whatever happened, confrontation or whatever, we dealt with it within the camp. We always prayed. We always had a NUP. We always did everything by consensus.
So doing all that, did you have confrontation like the law and order or the Highway Patrol or the Army?
Highway Patrol was not allowed onto the reservation.
Here, they weren't allowed here, but I see the council, I heard they allowed them to come back in, huh?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's just in the talking stages.
Oh,
It's
okay.
nothing. Although they can be on the reservation on Highway 12
Just to go through.
and for non-Indians.
Yeah, for non-Indians. So, but at the camp, they weren't allowed. We were right by the river, right by Cheyenne River, and the FBI were watching us on the other side, taking pictures and stuff. We put up signs that say, "Come have coffee," but they never came.
You have to be careful because, the president signed a law, they signed into a law that if anybody's caught terrorizing, they'll be put in prison for life. So you have to be careful what you do.
That's why everything has to be done with prayer and non-violence. That's why I say no guns, no slingshots, no BB guns, no, anything like that. You cannot have it. Everything has to be done in prayer. And so, you start the day in prayer. I mean, it's amazing when you're in a spirit camp.
So where are you going to put this up at in Cannonball? What place? Along
I
the
think
highway?
the area that Donna was talking about, see, when you're heading north to Cannonball, you start to come down this
Correct.
old Hidatsa eagle trapping area. Up here on the east end, the tip of Standing Rock, right up here. See, when you go into Cannonball, you got those 2 buttes, and
Yeah.
it's way up here on that side. So it's just right overlooking where the crossing would be.
I think what you're talking about, that place is there's a sacred rock area. Yeah.
It's a little bit more east there.
Yeah.
East, yeah.
Those two
Yep, right
dudes,
where that rock.
where that windmill is,
Mhm.
that's part of that medicine rock that's on top of that one hill.
Yeah.
That's a good
Wicks
place.
on there, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
Sacred area there.
Yeah.
And where we were camped was just right next to Old St. Thomas's camp. And it's amazing when you're at Yadis Parish camp. Everything is done in prayer. You have to remember that. It has to be done that way. It has to be. Now down at Rosebud, they were on allotted land. Because remember, part of their land north of them is spotted with allotted land. Remember that? They were on allotted land, and the FBI actually came in and had coffee with them a lot. So, people tell me stories about that. But I think where this camp is, they're not going to be able to come on unless they let the council will let it.
Is that tribal land what you're talking about, Charles?
What's that?
Is that tribal land what you're talking about?
I think that's a lot of land too.
They didn't have the camp.
Yeah.
Do you know when they're supposed to be coming in? No, don't put that out.
How's that going?
Sorry. Do you know when they're supposed to be coming in? When are they supposed to be up there?
There's nothing even in plan. That was just a suggestion from LaDonna. If she would allow her land to be leased. So
There's something you're looking at.
it's all options, and I know I wish a lot more people were here trying to cramp up here. That I wish a lot more people were here because we could really talk about different specifics and maybe a game plan, different things. But we're streaming live.
There's certain things, yeah. Well, at the moment we're streaming live. When we're talking like this is fine to stream. When we get into more specifics, I won't
Then
put
we
that
won't.
out. No.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways, but the directions we receive from the ceremony is that to be non-confrontational, non-violent, handle it in ways that can be done. So as far as somebody, I know we talked about it. We kind of had a laugh, as far as anyone go standing up there getting ran over by bulldozers, that's not going to happen. That won't happen. We exist and live in a time when where we have different avenues approaching.
And there was, in the very beginning of the fight at Keystone, where some people, some of us, pledged death or prison. And I was one of those people that pledged death or prison to stop Keystone. Now, my children were already grown. I don't live in a housing house, so they can't take my house away from me. But it was something that I did pledge to stop Keystone, and I'm still in the fight with Keystone. But because we did everything in the right way, then I didn't have to fulfill that. The Spirit let me off of that. And I'm really grateful because I have my grandkids and I want to be with them. I don't want to be a prisoner.
Did the police around the camp or the BIA cops or
No,
For safety
one
or-
of the things that happened on Cheyenne River was stopping oil production loads, because that was one of our laws. And oil production equipment, including pipes. And we did stop some of those trucks too, because the tribe wasn't stopping them. They are now, but at the time they weren't. And
how about if you have a truck coming from the south going north, try to cross the border What are you gonna do?
Only one truck was stopped as it was moving, and it was going slow. And I wasn't involved with that one. That was 2 other people.
I mean, I'm saying, what if you had a truck from this side going north to cross the border? You guys gonna stop him if he's got anything to do with what's
We
going
did.
on?
We did. We stopped Trans-Canada loads.
That would be the group's decision, right?
But that was the group's decision. And it was those of us who had already been trained in nonviolent direct action. And so there was 3 of us that did go to jail.
By the BIA or state, highway patrol, or?
Tribe. Tribe put us in jail. The FBI called the tribe and said, put him in jail or we will.
What did you guys do in here? What was a violation?
To stop truck. But that would be the people's decision to do that.
That's why I say if that's gonna be all going on, I'm sure that there'll be cops around that area, you know?
Yeah,
Port of entry.
but the spirits here said not to do that, so we're not going to do that here.
No,
We
I'm
have
just-
to
I'm
follow
just-
what the. I mean, because down there, when we did our prayers in Cheyenne River, there were different directions that were given to us on what we were supposed to do, and so we fulfilled those. We did what we were supposed to do on Cheyenne River. The spirits here said to do something different, are a little bit more. Well, it's the same, but a little bit different. So that's what we have to follow. We have to follow whatever the spirits tell us to do. Down Cheyenne River, I can tell you those spirits will do whatever they can do. We didn't have to stop any more trucks because the spirits took care of it. The Wakia came and wiped out 2 dams and took out a road. They took out Highway 34 for months. 2 dams just went like that, you know, and so we didn't have to do anything anymore.